How are we getting on, folks? Look, today, I think we can basically say we were due a sort of a frustrating day. Although we did have a very nice winner in the shunter at 4-1, which was a very nice gamble. I did predict it was going to go in to a very sharp price, which it did, close to even money. Um, we still, I suppose, ended up coming away with a small loss, not a hell of a lot. Obviously, the day beforehand, we had nearly a clean sweep with the horses that ran. You have them days. At the end of the day, we're not all going to get every single race totally right. Um, if we were going to do that, if we wouldn't be doing this at the end of the day. But look at we're going to tackle Clonmel now tomorrow. Clonmel has often proven, for me anyway, to be a fairly lucky track for myself. Um, it looks to be a fairly, I suppose, open affair tomorrow. There's an awful lot of these coming in here. Some fairly nice prices that are going to be not just napped up, but next best and all that, and everything else like that. Few prices maybe a little bit out by the time you get to look at it. Obviously, with, I suppose, room for maneuver in the market while this is uploading and everything else like that. We don't really know at the end of the day. So look at, hopefully with the help of God, they'll all be, I suppose, in or around the same price anyway. But first of all, we're going to kick things off. 1 o'clock, we're going to go with Champagne Gold at 5-2. This one here for me personally is definitely one of the more, it looks one of the more certainties really at the end of the day. The top two, Pienta and Gold de Bois, I've seen both of them in the flesh. I've seen them both live. They've often gone off well supported and completely flopped. I remember Gold de Bois absolutely flopped in Thurles, either at the start of this year or late last year. I'm not 100% sure, but it was very disappointing that particular day. Pienta, obviously, it's it's had its chances. It's been even money, odds on, and you'd be lucky to see it getting into the top three. Would I like to see it get in? Yeah, obviously I would, because it deserves its time in the limelight. It's just been misfortunate really at the end of the day, but I think this horse is a little bit overhyped really at the end of the day. This Champagne Gold at 5-2 looks to be the best value here really at the end of the day. It cost 90,000. It was bought for 90,000 after his pint to pint second last year, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Let's just see, has there been anything come out of it? I don't really know. I can't 100% say for certain what came out of it or what didn't, but no, it's completely slipped my mind if I'm quite honest with you. I think maybe, is it Manila Escape maybe? I don't know. I know there's one that I've written down for the next one, but if I'm not mistaken, Manila Escape was behind it. It obviously won its point to point in Bell Harbour, and it looked to have the race in the bag when coming down at the last in Punchestown yesterday. Do I think it has the capabilities to go on and win first time? Absolutely. This field isn't as strong as the market makes out to be. I think definitely the top two in the market are there to be shot at. If the price is right and the horse is definitely in the capabilities of the 90,000 mark range, it should be well able to strike here, and at 5-2 it's definitely well worth getting on. 130, we're going to go with Braveway 4-6. The price says it all really at the end of the day. This one looks to be an out and out certainty. It cost 190,000 in the sales after winning a pint to pint. Let's just see who it beat. Dam de Ruban was one of them. It was two or three lengths in front of it that day, and obviously Dam de Ruban has gone on to not only win but run very, very respectably, since obviously today was one of those days. It put in a very, very good effort and showed its worth and showed its class at the end of the day. The form looks to have been, I suppose, backed up, and everything is pointing in the direction of this brave way. 4 to 6, it's really a no bet race at this stage. We don't really know what it's going to be like under rules and stepping up into, I suppose, more dangerous territory really at the end of the day. But for a horse to be bought for just shy of 200,000 is, it should be winning this race really. It's a fairly weak contest and it's in Mayor's company. It should have no problem here. 2 o'clock, we're going to go with the next best of the day. We're going to go at Shedding at 7 to 2. Obviously, as most of you that have been following the YouTube channel for quite some time, and as well as that, the Peaky blogger on Facebook and Twitter, you'd know that I've fairly good connections with Jordan Canavan. Now, I've heard nothing personally. I'll hold my hands up and say this. I've heard nothing personally about this race. But the last time it ran, it was 14 to 1 third. I will say this: Jordan did say that he thought he was on the winner turning in, but the first and second were just, I suppose, they were fitter horses really. To make a long story short, it just looked, I suppose, like the Shedding needed a run. It's had its run now. Obviously, look at it's on a little bit of a drift, and I can see why. It probably wants the ground a little bit better, but saying that, it's rated the best horse in the race. Jordan Canavan has taken £7 off it. The form has been boosted. 7 to 2 looks a crazy price. This horse should really be slashed. It should really be half that. Well, maybe not 7 to 4, but definitely it should be 3 to 1, 11 to 4, maybe even you could argue 9 to 4. Come race time, I would expect to see this go in the market, I suppose, shorter, and it should go off at a shorter price. So look at, have a cheeky old bet now at 7 to 2, and if it goes in, well and good. Obviously there is some support behind it, and if it goes out, well, sure, look at it's more money in the bank. Should it place, but I'd have no problem seeing it place. Obviously, if it goes out to an each way price, back each way, but I'm willing to take the chance at 7 to 2. I'm willing to go in for a win. And Jordan, if you're listening on, the very best of luck now tomorrow. Now next race, the 2:35. We're going straight from the next best to the nap. We're going to go with In Your Shadow at 15 to 8. This one here is definitely the most competitive race of the day. There's an awful lot of horses in here you can make your case for. But this In Your Shadow stands out by a country mile, in my personal opinion. Cast your minds back to Galway, if I'm not mistaken, 2 weeks ago, where not only for the world of sport, but on here as well, we had tipped up the likes of Bridge Native at 7 to 1, the Storyteller 6 to 5. I'm trying to think who was the first. We had the first in as well. I can't remember. We had a treble up in the day anyway, whatever day it was. But I had tipped up this crazy work. The Vassie is the nap of the day. It started off at 13 to 8 and it drifted out to, I think, 10 to 3 or 3 to 1, something in and along them lines. But In Your Shadow was the next best in the market, and it was punted in heavily. Really and truly, this, although I was pulling my hair out, I will have to put my hands up and say that the better horse won the day. It's been absolutely teeming rain down here all day. Clonmel, it should really be soft to heavy in places by that time tomorrow. What time is it? 2:35 after about three races in. It should really be soft to heavy, especially if this rain keeps coming. The softer it gets, the better really for this one. It looks like soft ground it absolutely relishes. And 15-8, it's well worth getting on, and I'm 100% confident of napping it up at 15-8. It shouldn't really be beaten here. Um, Unless there is one, I suppose, out of the clouds that might have escaped the handicapper um, a little bit more so than the in your shadow. But 310, another each way shout here. We're going to go with what's your status at 5-1. Obviously, it's gone into the each way prices now, so definitely back each way. But I'm actually surprised to see this horse going on the drift. There's a good bet on this Fred the Foot. It looks to be a decent enough sort, but I've seen it in the flesh and I've seen it live. It does have a tendency to die off very, very quickly in races such as these. I was there today in Navan when it was swinging in and looked to have the race at its mercy, but finished a tame, I think 4th or 5th by the time it hit the line. In Clonmel tomorrow, like I said, is probably going to go soft to heavy in places, but it's a steep climb up that hill. It's sort of a backwards Cheltenham, really, if you want to put it, I suppose, in plainer terms. Really, it's a very, very steep uphill climb. What I mean by backward, obviously, is going right-handed instead of left-handed. But it looks to be really this. What's your status? Look at it was what it was 15 lengths in front of this. What was it called? Champagne Beauty. No, 14 lengths in front of Champagne Beauty, who then went on to win by 15 lengths in Roscommon in Monday. It looked to be a very, very good horse. If the form, well, the form is backed up. If the improvement keeps coming, there's no reason why this horse isn't going to run out a very, very cosy winner. I'd be shocked to see it out of places, but I'd be sort of half thinking that this horse is going to run away with this race now today, and 5-1 is a crazy price. 345. Depending where you are, it is at an each way price. Port Rashid at 9-2. It's a family affair. Timothy and Jody teaming up. Jody takes off £7. They were very, very impressive that day in Thurles when they won it. I think it was 14-1. Same combination, obviously. Actually, if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong with this, but I think. I think I'm definitely wrong with this. I thought it was another family member that owned the the Port Rashid for the town ends, but I think I might be totally wrong with that. I think I'm thinking about a different horse. But it looks to be fairly well in its sights. It had a bit of a blow-in run there in Wexford, which was understandable. Obviously with, I suppose, a long layoff, they're entitled to a run to bring them back on the right track, and if this horse is in form, it should take plenty of stopping, and 9-2 is a brilliant price. Finally, last race of the day, we're going to go with an each way shout here at Stowaway John at 8-1. If you were following the World of Sport website and you read my article, obviously we tipped it up at 10-1, which was the starting price, or the I suppose opening price more so than the starting price. But I really think this horse is going to put in a very, very good show here now today. The favourite is an unworthy favourite in my personal opinion. It was second to Geraldo in my local point to point in Stolen. Geraldo hasn't really lived up to the hype around his name. Obviously, I'm trying to think of the horse from Noel Meads that he was second to next time out. The name completely escapes me now. I have it up in the article, but it was 8 lengths down that day. That horse, although it has won since, it hasn't actually set the world alight really at the end of the day. This Stowaway John, if you go back to his last run around Clonmel, third at 28-1, who was in front of it? More info, and I'm trying to think. Cotty, I think the name of the horse is, for, if I'm not mistaken, the Sam Curling Yard or some yard up the north. Uh, when you look at it that way, the form ties in very well there. Obviously, more info. You have the likes of She Wears It Well as a, I suppose, an outside source. Cotty, very good bumper looking mare. Looks to be one for definitely the future. And when you look at it that way, the form looks to be much, much better than this Don Diablo. Really and truly, 8 to 1 is a crazy price. It's well worth getting on each way. It's proven that it's placed. It's proven that it likes to track. It's placed around here before, and yeah, I'd be sort of expecting this horse to be a bit of a dark one now tomorrow. But look, that's all for me. If you want to read the article instead of listen to me for 15, 16 odd minutes, you can do so by visiting www.theworldofsport.co.uk. I leave a link in the description below. Please make sure to keep liking, sharing, subscribing. At the end of the day, it only takes a second for ye, but it helps me out in the long run. And yeah, if you're having a bet tomorrow, the very best of luck. And thanks very much.